2 of Vacation Bible School. Hey, before we get started, do you want to play a game? Great! Okay, I need you to close your eyes and count to 10. We're going to play hide and seek, and I want to see if you can find me. Are you ready? All right, close your eyes and count to 10. Did you find me? Oh, you're so good. So remember, we have 4 days of Vacation Bible School, and our theme is hope. Can you spell hope again? Right. H-O-P-E. Yesterday, our word was help. You remember we made a heart because we love helping others, and we help others out of the love that we have for God and others. Today's word is opportunity. And we have a lot of opportunities. God gives us tons of chances to do good things, and we just have to be looking for that opportunity. So in order to go along with opportunity, we're going to look for opportunity. Can you do this with me? Remember, help, we made a heart. O was opportunity. We're always looking for the opportunity to be a good disciple. Now, we can look for opportunity, but remember, what's the one thing that we can't see? That's right, hope. Hope is something we feel. And like Paul said, hope that is seen isn't hope at all. Who wishes and hopes for things that they already know they have and exist? It doesn't make sense. In order to have hope, you can only hope for things that you don't have yet. And that's the tricky part of it. But we still have to have hope to keep us going. So before we get started for the day, how about we go find our friend Pastor Bob and sing our super awesome Vacation Bible School theme song that we learned yesterday. Come on, let's go inside. Hey Bob, would you mind helping us sing our hope song one more time before we get started?
Hey Melissa, glad to. So this is the theme of Bible school. It's hope. And H-O-P-E is for help, opportunity, prayer, endurance. So let's sing our theme song. Ready? Hope, hope, hope. You gotta have hope.
Hope, hope.
One more time.
Hope, hope,
Hope. You gotta have hope.
hope.
Hope. H, help. O, opportunity. P, prayer. E, endurance. What's that spell?
Hope.
H, help. O, opportunity. P, prayer. E, endurance. Hope. 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 You gotta have hope. Hope.
Hope.
One more time. Hope.
Hope.
Hope. You gotta have hope.
Hope.
Hope. Hope is some holy life insurance. Hope gives strength and endurance. When you're out in the street in the summertime heat, just stay cool and shuffle your feet. Feel that holy power each and every hour. Shout it out from the garden tower. Just stay natural, just stay cool. Hope, 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 I pity the fool. Hope, 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 you gotta have hope. Hope. One more time. Hope, 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 you gotta have hope. Hope, hope.
Thanks, Bob. We're going to see if Pastor Wynn has an awesome story for us today.
Keep the hope.
Hi, Pastor Wynn. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. And yourself?
Oh, I'm having a great day. I'm excited for day 2 of VBS.
You too.
So, our theme today is opportunity. Do you have a cool story like yesterday's story about opportunity?
I do. I have a really fun story. This story is called The Story of the Stubborn Missionary. This is a story about a man that God chose to be a missionary. Now, a missionary is someone that goes to a place they don't live, like another country, to tell people about God. This is a story of what is probably the very first missionary ever. But he didn't want to be a missionary. The man's name was Jonah. I don't know what Jonah's original job was, but at some point, God told him he wanted to be a missionary. So he contacted Jonah, and he gave him an assignment. Jonah, he told him, I'm going to send you on a mission to a really big city called Nineveh. The people in that city are just awful. I am not going to put up with their wicked, cruel behavior any longer. And I want you to go there and tell them they need to change the way they're living, or they're going to be punished. Now, there's something you need to know about Jonah and how he felt about the people who lived in the town of Nineveh. He hated that town, and he hated those people. The way they lived was just disgusting. Jonah figured that if God had really decided to get rid of the whole bunch, well, as far as he was concerned, they all had it coming. And it was about time, too. If there was any possibility that God was going to destroy Nineveh, then Jonah was all for it. So the last thing Jonah wanted to do was to do anything that might keep that from happening. If going to Nineveh might help save the people from being punished, then Jonah thought, hey, I'm not going there. I'm going to go the opposite direction. So Jonah went down to the dock where people got on ships to go to all sorts of places. There was a ship going to Nineveh, but Jonah ignored that one. And instead, he found a ship that was going in the other direction to a place called Tarshish, and he bought a ticket and got on that ship. Well, they took off, and after they got out to sea, Jonah went down to his room in the ship and took a nap. But while he was asleep, God caused a huge storm to come up, and all the sailors on the ship were afraid that the ship was going to sink. The captain of the ship went down and woke Jonah up, and he asked him to pray to his God that they might all be saved from the storm. Meanwhile, all the other sailors had figured out that this big storm must have hit them because of this one passenger named Jonah. So they asked him whether he might have done something that made the God that he worshiped angry. When Jonah admitted that he was running away from a job that God had given him to do, well, they were all really afraid. So they asked Jonah what he thought they might do so that God would stop the storm. Well, he said, I guess you'll just have to throw me overboard. He knew that as long as he was on that boat, then he and everyone and everything on that boat was in danger. Well, those sailors might have been afraid of God, but they also sort of felt sorry for Jonah. So they tried as hard as they could to get to the shore so they wouldn't have to throw Jonah into the ocean where he would drown. Well, they tried and tried, but no matter how hard they worked, they just couldn't get the ship to the shore. So they knew they were going to have to throw Jonah into the ocean. Finally, they prayed and asked God to forgive them for doing it, and they threw Jonah overboard. As soon as they did that, the storm stopped immediately, and all the sailors made promises that they would try to be better men from then on. Now, everyone, including Jonah, figured that after he went into the ocean, he would just drown, and that would be the end of it. But God had a different idea. As soon as Jonah went into the ocean, a big fish came along and swallowed him up in one giant gulp. He didn't chew him or anything. He just swallowed him. I don't know if it was a whale or not. I suppose it might have been. But as far as Jonah knew, it was just a very big fish. I don't know whether you have ever been swallowed by a very big fish. I know I haven't. But I cannot imagine that it was a very pleasant experience. even if you were not chewed up first. It was dark, I'm sure, and it probably smelled really, really bad. Well, as awful as it must have been to be inside the stomach of a very big fish, it did have one good thing. It gave Jonah time to think about what he had done and why he was where he was. He knew that that storm had come up because he had disobeyed God, but he also figured out that if God really wanted him to be dead, he would have drowned. So the fact that he was still alive inside a fish meant that God had found a way to save his life. So after he figured that out, he prayed and thanked God for saving his life, and he also promised that if God would give him another chance, he would go and do what God sent him to do in the first place. So God gave the fish a big bellyache, and when he threw up, Jonah found himself sitting on the beach, squinting in the sunlight. Now, the Bible doesn't say this, but I'm pretty sure that Jonah probably found a little pool or a stream as quick as he could and had a good bath and washed all his smelly clothes. So now, God spoke to Jonah a second time, and he told him again that he wanted him to go to Nineveh and tell everyone that they had just over 1 month to change the way they were living, or they would be punished. And this time, Jonah obeyed God and headed out to Nineveh. When he got there, he just ran through the city as fast as he could, shouting out the message God had given him. He didn't stop on the street corners and wait for the crowds to come around and tell them he had a message from God. He didn't take time to visit with the people or answer any questions they might have. No, he just jogged through that town as fast as he could. And he shouted over his shoulder as he ran past people, "In 40 days, God is going to destroy everyone." That was it. He didn't offer them any advice about what they might do or any suggestions for how they might avoid the punishment. Now, you would have thought that people would have just thought he was a crazy man, running through town, yelling that God was going to destroy them in 1 month. They would have just shaken their heads and laughed at it. But just the opposite happened. Everyone believed him as soon as they heard what he said. And the whole city, everyone from the king down, felt terrible about the way they'd been living, and they immediately dressed themselves in rags. And they put ashes on their head as a sign to show God they were really sorry for all the wrong things they'd been doing. The king told everyone, "We all have to change and stop living the way we were. And if we do, then maybe, just maybe, God won't do to us what that guy Jonah said he would do." And when God saw they were truly sorry and they intended to change the way they'd been living, he did change his mind, and he decided not to punish them, and instead he let the whole city survive. Now, after this, everyone was very happy to hear that they were not going to be punished. Everyone except Jonah. Jonah was very disappointed that the people took God's message seriously, and he was not going to get to see Nineveh destroyed. Jonah was very upset, and he complained to God about it. He said, "I knew you wouldn't really destroy them, God. Why am I even still here?" God just listened to Jonah throw his little tantrum, and he never interrupted him while he was whining. And when Jonah finally finished, all that God said was, "Jonah, do you have a good reason to be mad at me?" Well, Jonah didn't have an answer for that. So he just went a little way out of town, and he sat down to pout and watch to see what would happen next. What happened was this. It was very hot, and it was a very a dry, dusty desert place. So God made a plant grow up that made shade for Jonah so that he wouldn't be so uncomfortable. But then, when the plant died, Jonah was mad again, and he told God, "Just let me die. Just let me die." And God said, "Jonah, do you really have a good reason to be mad at me? Listen, you were upset when a little plant died, one little plant that you never worked for, you never watered it, you never took care of it, but you were upset when it died. But you think it's strange that I cared about 120,000 people, men, women, and children, that I was worried about them, that they might die if they didn't listen to what I had to say. Don't you think you're being a little silly?" Jonah didn't really have an answer for that. But I think when he got up and started on his way back home, he thought about what God had told him. The end.
Wow, that's a really cool story, Pastor Wynn. It's so crazy how God gave Jonah all these opportunities to do the right thing and gave those horrible people of Nineveh a chance to do the right thing too.
Yes. And then Jonah was disappointed when God liked the people, when he took care of them, when he forgave them. Sometimes we need to remember that it's not just us that God loves, it's everybody that God loves. And he wants the best for everybody.
Wow, that's a great story. I'm going to go see if Pastor Bob has a song to go along with our super awesome story and our theme of opportunity. Thanks, Pastor Wynn. See you tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, we just got done hearing a super awesome story about Jonah, who decided to try and run away from what God wanted him to do. But even though Jonah was trying to run away, God still protected him and took care of him. Let's see if our friend Pastor Bob has a super awesome song about that story.
Jonah was in the hands of God, even though he might not have known that, been aware of it. So we're going to sing the song, "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the wind and the rain in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the tiny little baby in his hands. He's got the tiny little baby in his hands. He's got the tiny little baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got everybody here in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Don't forget, God's got you in his hands. Be aware of all the opportunities that God has given you.
Thanks, Bob.
Hi, welcome back to Faith Lutheran's Vacation Bible School Crafts. It's day 2, and we are talking about Jonah and the whale. And our theme is opportunity, for the O in hope. So God asked Jonah to do something for him, and that was Jonah's first opportunity, to give a message of God's love to a faraway people. Jonah did not want to do that, and so he got in a boat. Since Jonah didn't want to do what God asked him to do, suddenly Jonah had a new opportunity, and that was to ride in the belly of a whale. So today, in honor of Jonah's seafaring, we're going to make a paper boat. It doesn't take many supplies. In the kit, I gave you construction paper, but it could be a magazine page or this white copier paper or some cardstock if you have it, or even some wrapping paper. You will want some crayons, and scissors are handy but not necessarily needed. All right, let's get started. So as I said, I started with construction paper. And if you remember last time when we did our crayon resist, we talked about the wax and crayon resisting water. And so to make the bottom of my boat a little more water resistant, I colored on the back of it with my crayons to make a nice thick layer of wax to keep the water out. And in honor of the whale, I put the whale on the bottom of the boat. But you can put anything. But the more crayon wax you put, the longer your boat will float. These boats obviously won't float forever. Okay, now let's get started. So first we need a square, which if you have a rectangle is easy to get. You just take the corner, get it to the side, line up the edges, line up the corners. And then fold it down. Now, this part is extra. If you don't have scissors, you can fold it a few times and rip it. Since I have scissors, I'm just going to cut it off. Okay, put that to the side. Now, take your colored side, which is going to be the outside, pull the top down, match up the corners again, and make a fold. Then take this free end and fold it up to the top. Then rotate it this way and match that side again. Okay, now, if you look at it on the side, you have a W. And with the W up, lay it down again. Now fold up your corners. See like that? And fold up this corner. Now we're going to do the other corners, so you don't get confused about which corners. Do it that way. Now your corners should match. There's that corner. Now we'll do this corner. Okay, now fold down the top that is free. And that's going to make a railing for your boat. Now flip it again. Fold down the other free edge. Okay, we have our two side railings. Now pull it open. So you have your two pockets there. Pull it open, push that down. And now push in these corners. There needs to be a railing on this side too. So fold that. Fold that down. And come back over here. Same thing. Push that down and then fold yourself a new railing. Ta-da! There is your boat. Look. Now, here's my whale on the bottom. Outside the boat where the whale needs to be. And I have some passengers. I have these two passengers. They look like adventurers. And I have this guy. Well, he's quite a large one. Do you think they can bring all their pets? Maybe this many pets, but I think the elephant will have to go by himself. What do you think? There, perfect, just by himself. Well, thank you for joining me, and think about the opportunities that you have even in uncertain times. Thanks, and I will talk to you again soon.
Hey guys, so we just heard a super crazy story from Pastor Wynn about a guy named Jonah who got eaten by a whale because he was trying to run away from what God wanted him to do. But remember, you can't hide from God, so God knew exactly where Jonah was, and when Jonah was ready, God had the whale just spit him right up. So we're going to see if our friends the Bloops have a fun game about being vomited up by a giant whale.
Hi, I'm Daddy Blue.
And I'm Mama Blue. And I'm Scarlet Blue. And I'm Jack.
Hey guys, Mama Bloop here. Jonah didn't think that God could find him or see him everywhere that he tried to hide. We know that's not the case. We're going to play a game that shows that God can find you no matter what. But remember, we're not God. We can't see through blindfolds. So as a result, we want to make sure you guys are safe. Make sure with your moms and dads, grandparents, or whoever else that you're doing this with, make sure that there are no corners, no things that can be broken, no stairs you can fall down or anything like that. This is not a running game. This is a game where Scarlet Bloop is going to keep this blindfold on and call out for Jonah, blindfolded. Bloops assemble.
Jonah, where are you?
I'm here, God.
I'm here. Jonah, where are you?
I'm here. Oh, Blue.
Jonah, where are you? I'm here, God. Jonah, where are you? I'm here. I'm here.
Blue.
Jonah, where are you? I am here, God. Jonah, where are you? I am now here, God. Jonah, where are you? I am here, God. That was blooptastic. Then you're going to take the banana and put on the marshmallow fluff. And you're going to take the vanilla wafers. These are going to be your fins.
Stop.
Then you're going to put your banana into the marshmallow fluff, get a chocolate chip, and put it on the head as the eyes. And then get the other and put it on the other side. Then you're going to take one of the vanilla wafers and you're going to put it right there. And then for the other one, and then those are going to be your fins. Then for the tail, you're going to get another one. You're just going to put it right there. Today we're going to be making the whale from Jonah and the Whale. For this snack, you're going to be needing bananas, vanilla wafers, marshmallow fluff, or cream cheese, or even peanut butter. The blue food dye is optional, and some chocolate chips, a bowl, 2 spoons, a plate, and your handy-dandy parent to cut. First, you're going to be needing your handy-dandy parent to cut right here on the banana.
Looks like that's about maybe
An inch.
about a quarter of the way through so that it's shaped like this.
Then you're going to peel the banana. And then put it on your plate. Then you're going to take your marshmallow fluff or whatever you have. You're going to get a big spoonful of that. And then you're going to get your food dye, optional. Just about 1 drop. And you're going to stir it up. To make it a nice ocean blue. Then you're going to take your marshmallow fluff and you're going to put it right on the plate as the ocean. And you can spread that out a little bit, like that.
Well, hey there, guys. Did you have as much fun today as I did? Great. I'm so glad you did. Let's recap what we did today. So, first, we got to sing our super awesome VBS theme song about what again? That's right, opportunity. We're always looking for an opportunity to be a good disciple of God. And then we heard our super crazy story from Pastor Wynn about a guy who had the opportunity to be a missionary and go spread God's word, but he tried to run away. Kind of like how we play hide and seek. Jonah tried to hide from God, but you can't hide from God, silly. But God is very forgiving. So even though Jonah ran away, he gave him the opportunity to do the right thing by having him swallowed up by a whale to save him from the waters. And then Jonah took that opportunity and went and did what God wanted him to do. And in doing so, he helped save the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in a whole city. Isn't that crazy? What you can do if you're just watching for the opportunity to be a good disciple of God. We also got to play our super fun game with the Bloops, where we got to play blind tag. And then we had our super yummy snack with Scarlett. Wasn't that a delicious whale banana? Well, I really hope you guys will come back and join us tomorrow. But before you go, can we sing our VBS theme song one more time? Great! Let's go inside and find Pastor Bob. Hey, Pastor Bob. I was hoping we could sing our VBS theme song.
Hey, everybody. One more time today. We're going to sing our hope song. You ready? Hope,
Hope,
hope. You gotta have hope. Hope, hope. Hope,
hope.
hope. You gotta have hope. Hope, hope. H, help. O, opportunity. P, prayer. E, endurance. What's that spell?
Hope.
H, help. O, opportunity. P, prayer. E, endurance. Hope,
Hope.
hope. You gotta have hope. Hope, hope. One more. Hope, hope, hope. You gotta have hope.
Hope.
Hope. Hope is some holy life insurance. Hope gives strength and endurance. When you're out in the street in the summertime heat, just stay cool and shuffle your feet. Feel that holy power by the hour. Shout it out from the garden tower. Just stay natural, just stay cool. Hope, 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 I pity the fool. Hope, hope, hope. You gotta have hope. Hope, hope. One more time now. Hope, hope, hope. You gotta have hope. Hope, hope.
Thanks, Pastor Bob.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us today, guys. I hope you have a great day. Good.